guys, it's Alina here, and today I have another first impressions video for you. Today's video is on the Urban Decay Moondust palette. So before we get started, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you love first impressions videos and you want me to do more of them, because I'd be happy to do that. And let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so because I had been on a no-buy, I haven't really been stocking all the brands that much, so really this palette kind of came as a surprise to me. My friends that work at Sephora actually were like, oh my gosh, have you heard of the new Moondust palette that's coming out? And just so you guys know, I'm not on a no-buy anymore, so I'll go back to stocking all the brands again, but I saw it and I had to get my hands on it. So it's my understanding that up until this point, the Urban Decay Moondust shadows have always been single eyeshadows. So they come in 0.05 ounce size and they're $21 each. They have a variety of shades, but you guys know how I feel about single eyeshadows. They're very, very difficult to travel with. I believe the last time I tried to travel with Urban Decay singles, I dropped them and they shattered everywhere, which is sad. But they have come out with a palette. So this palette has 8 different shades and they're supposed to be exclusive to this palette. So you will not be able to buy them in single eyeshadow shades. So there's 8 different shades and the palette's $49. So I was reading some of the reviews and some people say that it's not worthwhile based on the amount of product that you're getting. I did some calculations, and yes, each of the ones in this palette are 0.02 ounces. So that is smaller than the 0.05 of a full size. But when you add up the amount of product, it comes out to 0.16 ounces, which is roughly the size of 3.2 single Moondust shadows. So if you were to buy 3.2, essentially, it comes out to $67.20, give or take. So being that this palette is $49, if you calculate based on the amount of product you're getting, you're saving $12, give or take. So it might not be a huge savings, but when you really break it down, most of us don't finish single eyeshadows because it is a lot of product. And you've got 8 different colors in here. So if you were to buy 8 different shades of the Moondust shadows, you're talking about $168 of single eyeshadows, which most people would not think is a good idea. So it's nice that there's 8 of these in this palette, and that way you can try out the Moondust eyeshadows, see if it's your cup of tea, see if you enjoy the consistency and how they apply, and then if you want to branch out and get some other colors in single eyeshadow form, you can. So I think it's a decent value. The palette itself is available on the Urban Decay website, on Sephora's website, and also Ulta's website. I haven't seen whether or not they're available in stores yet, just because I haven't gone out to check. I know that my friends that work in at Sephora, they did already have them at the store, not out for the public, but they were already in their back room, so it's coming fairly soon. The box looks like this. The palette looks like this. It's a hard case palette, and even though it has this little ledge that usually tells you it is a snap closure, it's actually magnetic closure, so that's good. And it's like, it's a pretty solid magnet. It's very hard to open almost. And then it's got a mirror that spans most of the lid of the palette, which is great. These colors. Woo! And here are all the colors. So already I'm really, really loving the fact that most of these colors have an iridescence to it, which I happen to love. I know that Element already is going to be one of my favorites because it's kind of got that scaly look. Maybe not scales, because scales tend to be on the more like bluer end of the spectrum, but almost like, if you, this is gonna sound terrible, if you've ever seen like a polluted body of water that's got like, you know, all the funky colors to it. Never mind, I take that back, that just sounds terrible. Anywho, so a decent variety of colors, but one thing to note is that I would never say, even before swatching this, I know that this is not a standalone palette, and that's something that if you're going to purchase this palette, you need to go in with that understanding. If not, you're going to be disappointed. Creating an entire look with super iridescent, super shimmery, sparkly, almost glittery shadows is probably difficult, if not impossible, for the average person. And also, I think their plan with this palette was not for it to be a standalone palette. Their plan, I believe, was to give you a good variety of these Moondust shadows to incorporate into your collection, to add a little sparkle, a little iridescence to whatever eyeshadow look that you're doing. So just go in with that understanding, and I feel like this is a palette that's got a good variety of funkiness and shimmeriness that you can take this along with maybe a couple other palettes when you go on a trip that, you know, you want to have a little funk to. That's what I think. I think it looks pretty good. So I know you guys are just dying to see the colors, so let's get to swatching. So I'm all swatched up, so let me get closer and show you all these colors. So here are all the colors together. They were all swatched with one swipe of color, and there's no primer on my arm. And I swatched them in the rows of 4. So let's go ahead and start with the first row. This first color here is called Spectre. It's a soft pink with tonal sparkle. The second color is called Element. It's a peach with pink shift and sparkle. The third color is called Magnetic. It's a purple with blue sparkle. And the fourth color is called Light Year. It's a vivid saturated green. Once again, this is the first row. So here we have the second row. The first color in the second row is called Granite. It's a black with multicolored sparkle. The second color is called Lithium. It's a brown with iridescent 3D sparkle. The third color is called Vega. It's a bright blue with tonal sparkle. And the fourth color is called Galaxy. It's a smoky blue-gray with iridescent 3D sparkle. So once again, these are all the colors together. They've got pretty decent pigmentation, and I did notice quite a bit of fallout, but that's totally normal when it comes to glittery shades. But the colors are very, very stunning. Just incredible. So my final thoughts on this palette are that I think it's still a great value, and I think it's amazing. I think the few negative reviews that I found on Sephora's website, I think come from people not having a true understanding of what the Moondust shadows are. They are meant to be glittery, and they are meant to be super shimmery, and that is why there tends to be fallout. I have yet to find a glittery shadow that didn't have fallout. That's just kind of something that comes with glitter. But with a really good eyelid primer, especially one that's geared towards glitter, I know Too Faced has one, I'll link down below, and NYX as well has a really good one. By having a good eye primer like that, you're going to reduce the amount of fallout with the glitter. Additionally, some people have said that the eyeshadows are not that pigmented. I found them to be very pigmented for glittery eyeshadows, but if that's something that's of concern to you, I'm sure that they'll be more pigmented if you apply them wet, or just layer on another layer. I mean, you know, it's something that we have to do with a lot of our eyeshadows. Not every eyeshadow is like super crazy pigmented. Or even better, which is what I would probably do, is I would probably apply a more neutral version of that particular color, whether it be a purple, blue, whatever, to correspond with this color, and then pack that on top. It gives it a nice base and a very even look to it. That's what I would do. So this palette is $49 and it's available at Sephora, Ulta, and Urban Decay. I will leave links down below to where you can purchase it or find out more information. So I want to know your thoughts on this palette. Did you love it? Did you get it? Is it on your wish list? Please leave me a comment below because I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think about it. And if you haven't picked it up yet, or maybe you're not planning on picking it up, I am going to be giving away one of these palettes. So one of these palettes will be for one of you guys. Additionally, if you made it this far in the video, comment the word sunshine for one additional entry via YouTube. So that's for you guys that are actually watching this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other videos. Hope you guys have a good one. See ya.